Hi everyone, thanks for watching. A long time ago I promised to do a video tutorial on how to make a superhero costume belt. And so today I'm going to fulfill that promise. I'm going to teach you how to make the classic looking Superman belt. This is from the Christopher Reeve and John Byrne era and all that kind of good stuff. I could also teach you how to do the New 52 style Superman belt, but we're going to save that for another tutorial. And we're going to move these out of the way for now. And let's get started. The first thing you're going to need to do is make sure you've got all the materials that you need. Number one, you're going to need a roll of foamies. You can buy these at Joann Fabrics or joannfabric.com. They're just $10 a roll, so it's really affordable, and it's a yard, so you can get a lot out of this one roll. Normally I would use white, but it really doesn't matter what color you use because it's just going to get covered up by the vinyl anyway. You also need a can of spray glue. And I prefer 3M77 Super. This stuff is really good and I've never had any trouble with it at all. You need a pair of sharp scissors and a Sharpie for marking everything. A ruler or yardstick. For the belt buckle, I recommend a half-ball cover button. These are available at Hobby Lobby and they're only about $4. This is the largest size you can get. It's 2.5 inches wide and that's perfect for a Superman belt. And then last but not least is the fabric or the material that you use for it. Obviously I'm using yellow, and this is a two-way stretch vinyl. I ordered this from spandexhouse.com. You can also get it from spandexworld.com, or you can get some non-stretch stuff from Joann's or Hobby Lobby or other places like that. And you can get it in a variety of different colors if you're doing a different superhero or just a different version of Superman's costume. So let's get started. First thing we're going to do is we're going to mark off, you may want to come in here where you can see, a 2-inch wide strip of the foaming. And this is 36 inches wide, or 36 inches long that is, and just 2 inches wide all the way across. So that's what you need your ruler and your Sharpie for. I've already got one cut out, so I'm not going to bother cutting that. And you're going to do the same thing with your vinyl fabric. This is going to wrap around the 2-inch belt, so it needs to be twice as wide. And I give a little bit extra there for overlap, so it's actually 4.5 inch wide. So you measure off your 4.5 inch wide strip, and you cut that out. This time the width is going to be about 40 to 45 inches, depending on the size of your waist. But you want to have about 3 to 6 inches extra on each side of the foaming core. Now I've got these already cut out and ready to go. So this is what it should look like once you get done. You've got your yellow vinyl strip 4.5 inches wide. Lay that flat. You'll notice that I've got newspaper over here covering the surface. Lay the vinyl flat in the center, and we're going to come over here and we're going to use our spray glue to get it ready. Okay, and you want to make sure that you cover the entire surface of the fabric while you spray. Alright. Hope I didn't get Superman sticky. You're going to take your foaming and you're going to lay it in the center middle. It's going to go right down the middle here. Let you come in and get a good look at where that's positioned. Once you lay it down, you want to flatten it out just a little bit like this. And you'll see that there's about 4 to 6 inches extra on each side. That's how you want it to look. Now you're going to go over with the spray glue again. This time you're going to spray the foaming. You don't have to worry about the other part because you've already got that. Just want to do a light coat on the foaming. And now we're going to start folding this over. You got to be very careful at this point because everything's sticky. And if you mess up, the fabric will stick to itself or your fingers will stick to it. So just be very careful as you do this. And it's best to start at one end, like I'm doing here. And you can just smooth that out with your other hand. Alright, there we go. That side is done. Now we just got to go back over here and do the same thing with the other side. Alright, now we are all done with that. Now, the more you do this, the better and easier it's gonna be. I did that in just a couple of minutes. It might take you 10-15 minutes the first time you do it. Of course, by then the glue's not going to be tacky anymore, and so you might have to start over and try again. But you'll notice, even me, I've done literally dozens, maybe even hundreds of these, and there's still some wrinkles here on the inside. You're never going to get the inside of the belt perfectly smooth and flat. That doesn't matter though. What matters is the outside. And you'll notice as I flip this over that the outside of the belt is perfectly smooth and flat all the way around. And you can see how that wraps around and gives a nice snug fit. Now we're going to set that aside for a minute. That really needs to dry for a while. Sometimes I'll set some heavy books or something on there just to keep the glue pressed down, but typically you don't have to do that. Now for the belt buckle, you're going to take your half ball cover button, just pop it out of the package, and you're going to follow the instructions on the back. It's got a little half circle here that you use to trace and create a circle using the same exact fabric that you used for the belt. Now this is why I like to use stretch fabric, because it's easier to get the stretch fabric onto the belt, onto the buckle that is. Now there's this little piece of metal that comes in the back of this. You're just going to pop that out because we don't need that. That's for if you're going to sew the belt buckle onto something, but we're not going to do any sewing with this. So you take your piece of yellow vinyl and you just kind of wrap it around the back of this. Now some of these, if you go with a smaller one, you know, my son has a costume like this, for instance, and his belt buckle is only 2 inches wide, and it comes with one of those little tools that you can use to apply the fabric and get it on there nice and even. Unfortunately, the 2.5 inch wide ones don't come with that tool, so you have to do it manually. And there's these little teeth on the inside that grab the fabric. So if you can see, I'm kind of pressing down with my thumb and getting the teeth there, biting down into this fabric. And you want to make sure that you're stretching just a little bit as you put it on there so you get a nice smooth surface on the other side. And then you just take the back of that, put it on over there, and you snap it into place just like that. And there you have it. There is your Superman belt and buckle. And you can attach the buckle a variety of ways. It depends on how you want to do it. You could hot glue it, you could use Velcro, sticky back Velcro on either side. I typically use glue dots because they hold very strong and won't fall off on you, but you can pull it off and switch it out if you want. The only other thing I've left to do is to add a Velcro fastener to the back, and that's why we don't have foamy all the way clean to the edge here. You're going to trim this until you get a perfect fit for your waist, and then you wrap that around, and as you can see, I have Velcro back here, and it just Velcros shut. Now you can use, if you have sewing skills, you can sew it on like I did. Otherwise you can just use sticky back Velcro on either side of it, and there's your finished product. If you're interested, I can show you how to do the new 52 belt, and the next project I have coming up is showing you how to make a cool Arkham Asylum Batman cowl for just 40 bucks. So check back sometime soon, and I'll see you later.